Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, happy middle of the night, wherever you are on this planet at this very time. Come in, take a sip. Let's wind down on the Wednesday crossword. And we have a Mary Ellen, and I'm assuming a German last name, Utlaut. Sure looks German, but we'll see. All right, let's hop into our grid, see what we got today. Okay, well, befitting the circumstances. I mean, 3 letters. Might as well try apt. Blindside, say. Bovine expression. Now, if I were a cow, how would I express myself? Let's just try the moo there. Okay, and it gives me my M, and I'm thinking ambush is your blindside. Buzzer you wouldn't want to hit. Big cats and opportunists both do this. I think we're talking about pouncing. Let's check that. Bottom of address. Okay, him. This looks good. Byron. Lord Byron by ancestry. I'm assuming it's a Scotsman. A bridle attachment. Maybe a bit. Break up as a knot, maybe untying, and a basic drum being a tom-tom. Okay, yeah, why not? And buzzer you wouldn't want to hit. Yeah, leave the bees alone. Leave the bees alone. Bumblebee. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Kind of spelled itself out for me. Blessed with skills, maybe able. Borat, follow-up from Sasha Baron Cohen. And I can't remember, but I'm sure this is going to help fill itself in here. Belling, the cat storyteller, Aesop. Okay. Before, inverse, air. Bench warmer. I guess that could be a sub. Ah, yes. Now, Bruno. Got it. Now, what do we have? Box of spaghetti's weight. Abbreviation. Barrier for an aspiring district attorney. I guess we're talking about the LSAT. And perhaps a box of spaghetti's weight is 1 pound? I was not aware that that's what that was. Burns books. Okay. Poesy. All right. Yep. Bachelor in Paradise Network. I've never watched a single one of these Bachelor shows, so I can't say definitively, but I do know that Jimmy Kimmel is on ABC, and Jimmy Kimmel always has the inside scoop on these Bachelor shows, so I'm just going to go with ABC to start with. If I'm wrong, we're going to find this out real soon. Bond servant. Well, got to have more than just a T there. Bing Crosby's record label. Okay, so I don't know this. I don't even know that outside of White Christmas, and I think that was Bing Crosby, I don't really think I even know any of his songs. But when you're talking about like an old record label or an old thing, it seems like if you got 5 letters you're dealing with, it seems like it's almost always Decca. So we'll go with that for the time being, but and I think Decca also, weren't they famous for not signing the Beatles? Didn't see any talent there. Okay, belief system. Well, this is typically ethos. I know some people say ethos, but bond servant. Okay, so this is probably a debtor. All right, so I feel like we're doing okay at the top there. Bordeaux summer etre. And a brownish red shade. Budweiser beer is aged using this wood, and I remember this from the commercials. This is brownish red shade. Biathletes need. 3 letters. Bivalve mollusks are cockles. So I think this tells me that the biathlete needs a ski. And this is looking like brownish red shade would be chestnut. And what does he got here? Breast milk container. How about a baby bottle? Ben-Hur get-ups. Beldames. Okay, crones. Not the nicest thing to say to an older woman. You're an old crone. Don't say that ever. Beyond the pale, perhaps ashiest, and burst as of wind, perhaps a gust. And it looks like these Ben-Hur get-ups are going to be togas. Well, that's cool. Bali product. Again, 3 letters. I think we're going to go with a bra on this one. Brewer's implement. Well, I guess that could be a vat. I don't know what Bali product would be starting with a V. Blasphemes, probably swears. You know, it's so far a pretty simple Wednesday, but it's got a little bit of flair to it, right? It's being a little bit dodgy with us on this, you know. Cockles, crones, I mean... Yeah, all right. Let's see. Bind with rope. Born down in a dead man's town. Yep, all right. Born in the USA. Take me back to 6th grade, why don't you? Bind with rope. I'm still not picking that one up. Bering Sea Islander. I think this is an Aleut. Blissful soak. I'm thinking a bath, excuse me. And bind with rope would be a lash, maybe. And brewer's implement. Okay, see, this is where it had me a little thrown off. I was thinking this had something to do with making beer. Probably the beech wood thing for Budweiser up top. But I think we're talking about the Milwaukee Brewers, and then therefore that we're thinking maybe baseball bat. Which is clever. It's clever. Buckle up, it's the law. Big name in DC. Beef on a skewer. Okay, this is looks like this might be a kebab, but the issue is when you live in Europe, you always see it spelled K-E-B-A-B, kebab. And I think in the States we call it kebab. I'm not sure what they're going for there. So maybe the big name in D.C. is our Vice President, Kamala. What is this? Bedouins? Yes, okay. Arabs, got it. Beavers, that should, I'm assuming, be me. And I love her. Okay, cool. I know you're like, come on, Christopher, can you spare us the singing? Sorry. Backyard get-together. Maybe this is a barbecue. That can be a really tricky word for me to sometimes remember how to spell, because I'm so used to seeing BBQ and bad-tempered sort. Biden's advisors. Bacterium requiring oxygen. I think this is an aerobe. Okay, yeah. Blissful soak could be a bubble bath. And now what we got? Benedict follower, Benedictine, battery type. This might be a NICAD. All right, what do we got now? Okay, so Biden's advisors. Okay, that's a little bit of a trick thing there. It doesn't have to be Biden. It could be any president and their advisors. I think we're talking about a cabinet. Bring back together. Reunited. Brims with perhaps teams. Bird's rank. I think he was an admiral. And a Bach exercise and etude. Business ends of swords. Perhaps these are blades. Okay. By the 1980s, this sea had become 2 lakes. This is the Aral Sea, I think. Well, even if it's not, it did become 2 lakes by the 1980s. Bangkok coins. I think these are butts. Burglar deterrent, probably an alarm. Best wishes for your once-a-year celebration and a wish for solvers of this puzzle. Black-eyed pea. Get that spelled correctly. Break into pieces, as in smashing pumpkins. Buy a drink for, say, hey, it's my treat. Ballet step. The wonderful French. Bah. Bah. And a pas de deux, a dance for 2. Belief that bulls hate the color red. I think this is a myth, much like the bull in a china shop being somehow not very graceful. Because it turns out they actually are. I mean, this must be truncated then. I'm just going to assume B-Day because there's a lot of B's in this puzzle. Bone in a cage, perhaps a rib. Behold, the kingdom of God is in the midst of you. Bang out again as a text. Perhaps we're talking about retyping. Barley brew. I'm assuming this is an ale. Beset. This could be a sail, perhaps. Blocking away could be bar. Bow tree meditator. I think this is the Buddha. Body part with a ball and socket. Could have been. And blind to a duck could be a ruse. I better turn my speaker on because, I mean, if I didn't fat finger something here and I got it right, I want to hear my little jazz number here. So I think blind to adult could be a duck to a ruse. How do we do, Bob? I think that's the first time I've ever solved something in an even number. So 12 minutes, right? And 17 Wednesdays in a row, which is just fabulous. Hey, thank you so much for being here. I mean, this was a fun puzzle. I have a feeling that we're going to get a bit trickier as Thursday, Friday, and Saturday come along, and I hope so. In the meantime, be well, all right? Just be well. Be nice to others. Be nice to yourself. Especially be nice to your enemies. It'll throw them off. They won't know what to do with that, right? And besides, being a good person, it makes you feel good, so do it for selfish reasons. And with that, I think we can bid adieu the Hawaiian style and say aloha. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Cheers.